Hey guys, it's Yvette, and I'm here to sew up my temperature quilt days January 10th and January 11th. Today is January 12th, and I'm sitting here watching Jellybean take a nap right by me while I'm sewing. He's my boy. It's my baby boy, what can I say? So to begin with, the temperatures for those couple days, January 10th was a high of 41 and a low of 28. So I've got fresh water and crystal pink. And January 11th was a high of 36 and a low of 25. And that corresponds to purple pansy and crystal pink. So I've got those colors and I've got those ready to go. Probably once I get those two or these two sewed up, then I will start connecting my, of course I have to have an itchy nose. I can't make a video without having an itchy nose. What's up? Everybody probably thinks, you know, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Okay, nose itches. So then I'll start sewing some of the blocks together. That way I just have something that I can kind of take a look at as I'm going along. So anyway, we'll get started doing that. I was sitting here before starting, and I mean, you guys know I pretty much wing everything. And as I sat here waiting to do my countdown to start the video, I thought, pretty much nothing to talk about. I mean, really, I do the same things every day over and over and over ad nauseum, and y'all are very sweet to say that I don't have a boring life and you can't wait to hear about my day. Really, y'all are lovely. But it really, you know, quite boring over at my house. I can tell you that I'm just going to get started sewing since I got nothing to really talk about. I did feed little Sweetie tonight. You know, the biggest issue for me is not with little Sweetie. There's no issue with little Sweetie. I am so happy to feed her anytime she's here. I wish she were here more, that's for sure, but that's okay. That's okay. Do everything on her, whatever makes her comfortable. I'm fine. And so far as I can tell, she has not slept on the warming pad. So we'll have to see if that ever happens. I hope it does. I keep putting the bowl of food like on it, but on the edge so that she doesn't have to get on it if she doesn't want to. But I'm kind of hoping that maybe she'll feel a little bit of the warmth and then kind of want to like go, what is this? Feels better than, you know, the cold air. I don't know what she's gonna do. But anyway, so little Sweetie has been coming over for meals. And whichever one of us is there, well, pretty much Jim will let me feed her if I'm not filming or something like that. You know, if I'm just up here packing up orders or doing something like that, then he'll come and get me and say, hey, your friend's here. Or he'll just holler up from, you know, downstairs, because that's what boys do. Boys just holler up. I'm surprised he doesn't like call me on the cell phone. Of course, I'd kick his butt if I was in the middle of filming and he stopped it by calling my cell phone. Although he'd probably text because he doesn't really want to talk to me. Yeah, so that's how we work it. He'll do it if he knows I'm filming or, you know, working on something that I can't stop from or whatever. But she has been coming like pretty much every night. And tonight I had to work late, so I didn't get home and I had to stop and pick up. Oh, that just reminded me, I have litter, cat litter in my car. I mean, from Petco, not, you know. not from cats using the bathroom in my car. And so, yeah, so tonight was a crazy night. I didn't get out of work until about 6:15. Still not done with everything. I mean, you'd think I had stayed late and everything got done. No, that did not happen. So by the time I picked up the cat litter at Petco, and y'all, let me tell you, right next door to Petco is Joann's. And Joann's, I love going and checking to see what kind of washi tape they have. The storage boxes, oh my goodness, me and the storage boxes at Joann's, we're in a love affair. And but I did not go. So as a Jellybean sleeps on my ironing thing, so there is cat hair everywhere. I love you, Jellybean. And this is Mommy's quilt, so it really doesn't matter. But there's about 50 hairs on it, so I'd like to at least take it down to 20. Anyway, so as a treat to myself, because I did not go into Joann's, I decided, of course, I was going to get a coffee. So, went to Starbucks, got a coffee. By the time I got home, it was right at 7 o'clock, maybe a little bit past, but right at 7 o'clock. And this was one of the days where Jim had to work in the office, and I work in the office every day. So I was the first one home, and I walked in, and everybody attacked me because they're all starving. You know, we don't feed them. But I'm telling you, I started walking around. I told Jim, I was like, dude, they ate everything in the house. Like, before we leave for work, we typically will fill up a couple of bowls with some dry food. All of their main meals are wet food, but we put down dry food as like a snack, and then also like Sami likes dry food more than anything, so I always make sure we have that down for her as well. So they had eaten everything, and when I got home, I had also noticed that little Sweetie was outside waiting for dinner as well. So I came in and fed all the kitties. And, oh, and I had gotten some more washi tape in the mail. Y'all, I have stopped buying washi tape. It's still coming in because, like I said, it takes like, well, I don't know where I said, but somewhere I said that it takes about a month for me to get it. Because I get it from, well, it's Japanese, Japanese washi tape. But there's this big conglomerate, like, of course, in China. Everything's in China. So it has to come overseas, and that's why it takes a month. And oh my goodness, they sell like all kinds of stuff. I got something. Oh, I know. I'll show it to you. I ordered these things, and I got a whole bunch of different ones. I had no idea that these things would be there. So it's basically, I mean, they're not exclusively advertised as like a pencil holder. You could put, I mean, I have like buttons down there. You could put like your scissors in there, your seam ripper, whatever. And when you're traveling with it, you pull this up. And of course I got a big giant pencil that's too big, but oh, that's not a pencil, that's a straw. Anyway, and then you zip it up and you can take it with you. So like if you're you know, going for a retreat or something, you put them in here, and then when you get wherever you're at, you unzip it and you just pull it down on these sides. I know you can't see it because of the way that thing is, and it basically they'll stick out. Now this, and it has like these little pockets inside too. So depending on what you're putting in there, like you could put your scissors in that little pocket, you could put your seam ripper in a pocket. Anyway, it's not going to work because I got the stiletto out. Sorry. But you know what I mean? Like there's little pockets in there on one side. 3 pockets, I think, is all there is. Let me get that one out. Yeah. Oh, no, there's 4. There's 4 little pockets. So you could put like little things in the pockets, like smaller things. And so it would keep it away from everything else if you have it like in the... Anyways, they are so adorable. I got some like this. And then there was another design with a kitty cat. And then I want to say there was like a bear, maybe. Gosh, I don't remember what they are, but you guys, they are so freaking cute. Oh my goodness. So I was like, I know how much I like mine. I leave that in there just for sticking it up here. But like when traveling and stuff, I think you can even put like, if you have like small rulers, you can put small rulers in there or something. I think I only ordered like 3 of each because maybe nobody else likes it. Maybe I'm the only one and then they'll just be sitting in the shop forever. I don't know. It is very, very possible to make that kind of mistake when you have an Etsy shop, because you start thinking about everything you like, and you know, you go and you put it in the shop and then come to find out you're like the only one who likes it. I've got little hairs everywhere. I know that I'm being crazy, but it kind of does drive me nuts. Once your quilt is made and you start washing and drying it, then of course all the hairs get taken off. But as you're sewing, listen, it just drives me crazy. I have no idea why. I do love my babies, and it does not bother me afterwards where they're... I mean, I wear clothes with cat fur on it all the time. That doesn't bother me. For some reason, like whenever I'm making my quilts, I want everything to be like... I don't know. I'm nuts. Anyway... Let's see, what else is there to talk about? Are you sleeping, Jellybean? You sleep, baby? You know how like they have their eyes, they're like in slits, but so you can't tell if they're like sleeping or not sleeping because they actually like sleep like that? I think he's really sleeping. His eyeball's like at half mast, or his eyelid. So who really knows? So, you guys, I don't think I told you, because yesterday I couldn't come on. I was in the middle of, well, I took the day off of my day job, and, because I had a whole lot of things that I needed to do, and I really needed to, oh my goodness, what in the world is that? Got like some kind of crazy stuff in my... Okay, doesn't matter. But I had... I wanted to start testing my pattern for piecing it real for January. And everything worked out fine. I ended up finishing it in one day, which was good. And so now I'm just going to finish designing, you know, what you can use the block in and stuff like that, and then write up the pattern. So hopefully I can get that done pretty quick. That part, every part just takes a bit of time because you have to test it before you're gonna, you know, give it to people to do. Because if it's not gonna work, well, hello, that might upset some people. So there's that to do, and then of course, you know, not only designing whatever it's going to be in, whether it's a wall hanging or a, you know, whatever it's going to be, then I also have to film the tutorial for the main block anyway. And yeah, so there's a whole bunch of steps to it. And I thought it'd be really great if I could at least get that part done yesterday. So I did. And that was very helpful to me to you know, it was just the one day, and you know, really it needs to be every day. You guys all know this. I'm not going to start sounding like a broken record again, but I did notice that it made a bit of a difference to have that extra day. So I went into my manager's office today and asked her if they would consider letting me work 4 10-hour days every week. And you know, obviously if there's a week where they needed me on the day that I normally have off, then no problem. We can work that out. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to be here. I'm just going to be working, doing something else. So anyway, she was like, well, I'll talk to management. And anyway, we'll see what happens. I have no idea. That would be very helpful. But this week, you see, and I did that because this week's going to be bad anyway, because we have inventory this week, which means for the rest of the week, I have to be in at 6:30 in the morning to enter counts. 3 times a year, we count every single bottle of alcohol we have in the warehouse, which is a lot. We do it over 3 days. Technically, you're supposed to close down when you're doing inventory, but we never do. So that makes things interesting because we're still receiving while we're counting. It's very interesting. Don't even ask. Don't ask, really. But we do that over 3 days. So my responsibilities during the 3 days is to enter the manual counts. Not by myself. There are a few of us who do it. And so we go in at 6:30 to do that. And I also have to order all the food because for inventory, pretty much the people who are in the warehouse and office are the only ones working for Wednesday and Thursday. And then on Friday, we bring in as much staff as we can, which includes all of our salesmen and everything, to finish up the count on Friday. And so on Friday, we feed everybody. We have bagels for breakfast. So that means that that day on Friday, I have to be at the bagel shop by 6 a.m. to pick up the bagels and bring them to work in time so that the night crew who just was counting all night long can have breakfast before they leave, and everybody who's about to start counting can have breakfast before they start. And then I order pizza for lunch. It's always pizza for lunch. It's just the easiest thing. And then usually on Friday, we'll get to go home a little earlier than we usually do. It varies, but usually by about 2 or 3 we can go. Usually 2 or 2:30, which is good because believe me, by then it has been a really long week. And I have to do everything that I normally do during that time as well. So, like on Wednesday, so tomorrow I have to do payroll. So that means in the middle of entering the counts, I have to enter all the payroll. It's crazy. It's a crazy days. And so honestly, like by the time I get home, oh guys, I'm so tired. And I really am gonna try to make sure I get the live done this week on tomorrow, Wednesday. Because I know that I had to cancel last week. But last week was crazy because of other reasons. And so I know. So yeah. I'm gonna be pretty tired tomorrow night. But I really want to do it. So I'm going to see what time I can get home. Hopefully I don't have to work late. I just won't work late. Whatever happens, if I'm not done, then I'm just not done. But I don't know that I'll be going till 10:30. Of course, I say that every time, and what happens is I lose track of time. I forget or I just don't look at the clock, and I'm talking because, you know, listen to me, I got nothing to talk about, but I can sit here and have a conversation with nobody. Well, maybe Jellybean, but he is sleeping. Jellybean is sleeping, I can tell. And he's especially happy because I have the fireplace going. So he's nice and toasty in here. Okay, so this is the last piece on the second one, January 11th. I'm telling y'all, my nose, I could just like take it off and like exchange it for a whole new nose. I truly could. It drives me crazy sometimes, the itchy nose thing. And I know everybody's gonna be like, oh, it's allergies. I don't have allergies. I mean, I really don't. I am convinced that all of this itching that is going on is, it must be menopausal, hormonal, something. I mean, because it's like, it's not just my nose. It'll be like my scalp, my ears, my eyebrows, like my hands. I'll start like it's crazy. I don't know how else to explain it. Anyway, it really doesn't matter. It is what it is. It's my life. All right, so I'm going to start sewing these together. I'm just going to show y'all like a couple of them because I don't have to sit here on a camera with y'all. I don't even have these trimmed yet. I'm not going to worry about those. But the ones that I've already got, which are right here, got my pile. I'm just going to do a few of them and show you, like, in my mind what I'm thinking. Now, what ends up happening is, you know, so let's say I'm looking at Jan 1, and here's my block. This is the front of the quilt, right? So that means that I want my days to go in this direction, right? So on the back, because this is where I'm going to be sewing, is this line here, then that means that for it to look proper going that way on this side, I need to put January 2nd to the left, not to the right, because then it'll be going that way, which is not the correct way. So you're going to be, you just with foundation paper piecing, you just have to think backwards sometimes. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4 that way, right? So let me go ahead. So what I do is it's the same as anything else. You're going to put them right sides together. And this is the line that I'm joining. And since they're square, and I always cut mine with a rotary cutter so that they are absolutely straight, because I am completely anal retentive about, you know. Now, normally I would sit here, if you are in Piecing It Real, I would show you ways that we make sure that everything is lining up exactly like it should. But you know what? It's my temperature quilt. It's going to be for me. I'm just going to lay them down and go for it. It's still going to be a whole lot. Can I do that? I don't even think I can do that. Y'all, I'm too anal. Just give me a sec. All right, so I have some Wonder Clips and a pen. I know you can't see it because I'm holding it by the head with my fingernail. But what I'm going to do, what I do is I will, because since I use my rotary cutter, I can feel the ends of the papers, and I can feel that they are even with each other. So then I will take my first Wonder Clip and I'll just clip it. I usually put like a couple, because when you have one, you can still have some tilt, but if you have two, then it's gonna hold it pretty tight. So then I'll put a couple of them in there. If you have a bigger piece, obviously you would put more, but to start with, I'm gonna put those there. See, I could tell on the sides, they're not right. Now, if you are like me and your nose itches, I'm kidding, and you just like everything to be perfect, and that just bothers you when it's not, y'all, it's like that with me, even in the office, with like stacks of paper. People who like staple stuff together and it's all différent, oh my gosh, you guys, I can't. I have to unstaple everything and start over. I just can't. Anyway, so I just feel that for the most part, everything is even. And then I take my straight pin, just a regular old straight pin, whatever kind you would like, it doesn't matter. I will stick it through right where the line is. In fact, I'm going to start at the corner. All right, so you can see that I have put that pin in right in the corner, and if you turn it to the other side, it went straight into the corner like it's supposed to. If I do the same thing on the other side, where I stick the pin in, it's right in the corner, and then on the other side, it's also right in the corner. That's, I mean, seriously, we're all human, so that's as perfect as you're going to get it. Now, just so that I make sure that sucker don't move, I put in a few more clips just so that as I pull them out, I still have some down at the end, still holding it together. And really, it's just slapping a clip on. I mean, it's not like you're having to put in a pin and all this. So use however many you want, or, you know, whatever. I got like a cajillion Wonder Clips because I also love Wonder Clips. I am like, anyway, so when I'm sewing these together, let me see if I go, yeah, so you should be able to go all the way from end to end. So normally I will start at the very corner of where it's got it. But for these where we're joining, you want to go end to end. So I'm going to start right at the end, as close as I can get to the end, and then sew across. And you're still using that 1.2 millimeter stitch because you're still going to have to, you know, tear the papers, which is the reason why you do a 1.2 millimeter stitch to begin with. When you come to the area where you're, where you have some bulk, you want to slow down because you don't want to break a needle. I understand. Well, if I'm being honest, I really don't understand the people who are like so concerned with going 100 miles an hour down the thing. It's just not me. I get that there are people who like to do that. That's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But to me, it's like, you know, be nice to your machine. If you can just slow down where those big bulky areas are, it's just better for the machine, and you won't break a needle, and you won't break your thread, and you can actually finish the line without any mishap. That's just my opinion. It's just my advice. Do what you like. You are a grown person who can make your own decisions. Believe me, I understand that. It's just a bit of advice. Okay. All right, so I'll just show you adding the third one on, and then, oops. And then I'm sure that's probably all the hand holding you need. Okay, so now I've got January 1 and January 2. And here's how they look so far. So now what I will do, before I do any pressing, all I do is remove the papers that are in the seam allowance. And that's because if you don't remove them now, then later on, when you start, you know, because now you're going to press it open, and to try to get that paper out, it's going to be more difficult. You really can just take those papers out and leave the rest of them. Don't take anything else off, just that one seam allowance that you just finished. Now, I always press my seams open. You can do whatever you like. Once again, you're a grown person. So you see, all I've done is taken off the papers right in the seam allowance. I'm going to press it open, but I'm not going to do it right now because I'd have to go over there and it doesn't matter. So now I'm going to add day 3 right here. And so if you see, I've got January 3rd. And again, I'm going to put them right sides together. And same thing. I'm just going to match them up. And you know, the small amount of time, it's taken me a long time because I'm trying not to take the time, but then I realize, you know what, you have to just take the time. So stop trying to skip steps, Yvette. But just taking a little bit of time to put these together is going to ensure that you have a gorgeous quilt where all your points are matching. And this really doesn't take that much time, considering that if you are a perfectionist like me and it doesn't come out perfect, you're going to want to rip it out and start over. That would take a lot more time than just poking a needle through here. Okay, I think I need to move it over just a tad. And I mean just a tad. Trying to... That's the only thing about like having kind of a bigger block. I wanted to have a bigger quilt by the time I was done because I don't have any like super big quilts, and I don't think actually this one is not gonna, in my opinion, it's not coming out super big, but it's gonna be bigger than anything else I've ever made, but still like it'll just be a daily thing. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Got a few more clips just to hold those edges. All right. Okay, so again, my quilt, the way that I'm doing, because I'm doing the 5.5 inch unfinished squares, it's going to have 18 squares across and 20 squares down. Get my clip off. Come off, clip. Have you guys seen, I think, was it on Netflix? I think it was on Netflix, and it was called Pieces of a Woman. I'm just going to tell you that if you are triggered by, it was a great movie. Like, I thought it was a beautiful movie. But if you are triggered by the loss of a child through miscarriage or something like that, if that triggers you, don't watch it, because I understand, and so I want to preface that to let you know that, you know, I don't want anyone to be caught unaware or off guard. But I really thought that the movie was a beautiful movie. It was sad, don't get me wrong, it was sad, but at the same time it was like, I don't know, I thought it was really well done. And so if you're looking for something, like maybe you need to clear out your ducts or something. I know, Lord knows I don't need to clear out any ducts. I'm always like, okay, so there's mine so far. And I'm just gonna real quick add mine, and I'll show you next time what it's looking like. And once I get the 18 across, then we'll start on the next row and we'll do 18 across. Once we have 2 with 18 across, then we can like join 2 rows together, and it's gonna start looking like a quilt. You guys, I'm really enjoying doing this with you. I'm so happy I had this idea. I am happy that there are a lot of you who want to sew along with me, but please know that you do not have to do this. I did not start it thinking that there would be a whole bunch of people doing it, you know, with me or whatever. It was just something for me to do while I was talking to you. And I thought it would be great to be making a quilt, because a lot of times whenever I'm sitting and I was doing, let's say, Monday catch up way back when, part of it was, you know, the whole time I'm doing Monday catch-up, I'm losing more sewing time. So I thought, you know what, if I'm sewing at the same time, it's definitely in keeping with the channel. I made the pattern into a paper piecing pattern so that I can totally show you guys what I'm all about, because I'm very passionate about foundation paper piecing. And if you don't already know, I have a membership where you can learn to foundation paper piece from the very, very beginning. I promise you that you will be able to foundation paper piece within a few months. You'll be very, very comfortable. I put in new patterns every month that I design and write myself, and I'm getting better at that, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, so anyway, there's more information about that down in the first comment that I pinned below, and I will see you guys in the next catch up. Now, since tomorrow is Wednesday, I'm definitely doing a live, and I have the inventory. I'm not entirely sure I'll have one. I might have to skip tomorrow as well, but if I have a moment, I will do it. I'm really loving doing this quilt. So, and I'm loving talking to you guys, even though I really don't think I have much to say. I don't have to have a whole bunch of people go down there and say that I'm very interesting. It's okay. Obviously, if you're crazy enough to think I'm this interesting, keep watching. And if you are crazy enough to think that, that's why I love you. And I'll see you guys in the next temperature quilt video with a little catch up. I'll see you then. Mwah.